Okay, video 3, and again, I'm sorry if I'm going kind of quick. It's late. I'm done, all 3 of my classes with these video notes. Y'all are the last ones, but if you didn't get something, and I apologize if I didn't seem that peppy or excited in these videos. But I will post on Moodle. You can get the notes made up, whatever you need. The PowerPoint is available, updated on Moodle too, if you get caught up. I did switch the slides. Now we're on a new diplomatic order. We're beginning to transition away from imperialism. From nationalism and a lot of the unification stuff. We're now transitioning towards imperialism slowly but surely. We're not there yet, but we're getting closer to that. We'll be there tomorrow after the reading quiz on Tuesday. Anyway, so I have a new diplomatic order. The balance of power in Europe shifted under the force of nationalism. I'm sure that's not that surprising to you. So the balance of power in Europe shifted under the force of nationalism. The balance of power in Europe shifted under the force of nationalism. Germany and Italy emerged as new powers all of a sudden that hadn't existed before. So that obviously will upset some of the balance of power that's been around for centuries. So Germany and Italy emerged as new powers. Austria, Russia, and Turkey began to be undone. So the Ottoman Empire, the Russian Empire, the Austrian Empire began to weaken because of the nationalism and revolutions taking place in their country. Bismarck had served as the initial architect of a complex system of alliances that attempted to maintain the status quo. So Bismarck had served as the initial architect of a complex system of alliances that attempted to maintain status quo. So Bismarck had served as an initial architect of a complex system of alliances that attempted to maintain the status quo. Bismarck understands that Europe's a very delicate balance, and they kind of need to do something to keep that balance of power in check. And so he promotes these ideas, these alliances. He believes that it'll make Europe better balanced and not allow there to be like some great big war, And so, as we've already talked about, he's going to get fired. And so when he's fired from his job, it kind of breaks down some of these issues because he's making alliances not for Germany's personal gain so much. It's because he's trying to stave off any kind of fighting or war that would take place. So he was very forward-thinking in that way with these alliances. So anyway, over time, conflicts in the Balkans and the antagonistic alliances increased tensions in Europe, paving the way for World War I. So over time, conflicts in the Balkans and antagonistic alliances increased tensions in Europe, especially once Bismarck resigns in the early 90s. It makes those alliances become more aggressive towards each other, leading to World War I. All right. Alliances increase tensions. We're looking at how the alliances now increase tension. So after nationalism and unification challenged the status quo, governments began making alliances to demonstrate their military might and assure their protection, assure their own country's protection. So as nationalism and unification challenged the status quo, governments began making alliances to demonstrate their military might and assure their protection. So we're going to look at the different alliances that Bismarck helps create. So Bismarck had made a system of alliances to help stabilize the continent as much as he could. So to ensure the success of unified Germany, Bismarck created several alliances that created a new diplomatic order in Europe. He also wanted to isolate Germany's longtime rival of France. So in addition to establishing a new diplomatic order in Europe, he also wanted to isolate their old rival and foe, France. So he developed the following treaties and alliances to make this work. So first you have the Three Emperors League, 1873 to 1887. So you have the Three Emperors League, 1873 to 1887. Three Emperors League, 1873 to 1887. The three emperors were Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Russia. So that'd be the Kaiser of Germany, the Emperor of Austria-Hungary, and the Russian Tsar. So Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Russia. Austria-Hungary and Russia were determined to avoid conflict in the Balkans. So Austria-Hungary and Russia, because they controlled territories in that area in the Balkans. Balkans, I don't know if you remember this, it's like Southeast Europe. It's like where Greece is, it's where the World War I's going to break out, all those things. Anyway, so Austria-Hungary, Russia were determined to avoid conflict in the Balkans, which is why they make this alliance. Also, Bismarck made this to preempt any kind of Austria, Hungary, Russia, and French alliance. So he made this to basically cut out France. So Bismarck made this alliance to preempt any kind of Austrian, Hungary, Russia, and French alliance. So in addition to that, after this one falls apart, he has the Reinsurance League formed in 1887. So he also creates what's called the Reinsurance League in 1887. So he also creates what's called the Reinsurance League or Reinsurance Treaty in 87. The Reinsurance Treaty was between Germany and Russia. So the Reinsurance Treaty was between Germany and Russia. This was a secret treaty formed after the collapse of the Three Emperors League, or the 3ML, as they call it in the streets. So the Reinsurance Treaty was a treaty between Germany and Russia after the collapse of the 3ML, or the Three Emperors League. It promised Germany and Russia would remain neutral if the other got into a war with another major party. So this promised that Germany and Russia would remain neutral if the other got involved into a war with another major party. So like Germany fought France, Russia would stay out, which is, highly likely to happen. Or if Russia fought Britain or somebody, then Germany would stay out. Exceptions were made if Germany attacked France or Russia attacked Austria. So exceptions were made if Germany attacked France or Russia attacked Austria. So France does become off limits because Russia wants to help protect France. And Russia couldn't attack Austria because of the close German roots there. So those are the only exceptions made. All right, then you have the dual alliance. 1879 to 1918. The dual alliance is 1879 to 1918. 1879 to 1918. So this is Germany and Austria-Hungary promising to support each other if attacked by Russia. So this is Germany and Austria-Hungary promising to support each other if attacked by Russia. Only this will become important later down the road. So this is Germany and Austria-Hungary promising to support each other if attacked by Russia. Then finally, you have the Triple Alliance. The last thing I'm going to say today is the Triple Alliance, 1882 to 1915. This is the alliance you probably talked about in U.S. history last year. This is the alliance that's going to bring Germany and Austria-Hungary into World War I. So Triple Alliance is 1882 to 1915. Triple Alliance. This is Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy form this alliance. They promise mutual support if attacked. So these three countries promise mutual support if attacked, which when this happens, when it actually does go down, Italy does not support them, so they actually back out the treaty whenever the war breaks out. The other part of the treaty was that Italy would remain neutral if one day Germany and Austria go to war with each other. So these treaties were all help made by Bismarck as the Chancellor of Germany to help increase German power, but also help maintain balance of power in Europe and isolate France to some degree as well too. So we'll stop there. I'll pick up tomorrow with the Congress of Berlin and go from there, and we'll kind of start making our way into imperialism slowly but surely tomorrow. Y'all have a good day. Sorry if I went a little fast or it wasn't that exciting, but so make sure you study and read for the quiz on Tuesday. Good luck.